Can't wait for James Bond to arrive in cinemas? Well, not to worry, you've come to the right video. Have I got the Netflix show for you to bridge that gap until No Time to Die finally hits the big screen. My name is Elliot, welcome to Hakuna MaChatter, your place for everything positive in diversity and representation in film and TV. If you're new here to the channel, please consider subscribing and hit that like button if you like this video. Yes, as I'm sure you can see behind me, the show in question is Lupin, French Netflix original show led by Omar Sy, playing the titular character, well, sort of the titular character, Lupin. In fact, Omar Sy's character is called Arsène Diop, and he is a man running around Paris imitating Arsène Lupin. Cool, so now I've kind of got that little bit out of the way. Let's get into what this show is deeply about. And does it really have anything to do with James Bond at all? Inasmuch that it is led by a charismatic, witty, lady killer kind of a man who is also kind of slick and ready to save the day. So the show Lupin is loosely based off of the books written by Maurice Leblanc back in 1905, and Lupin is a gentleman burglar. Think kind of Adrian Lester in The Hustle, and Omar Sy's character, Arsène Diop, is kind of the French version of Mickey. That's Adrian Lester's character in The Hustle. But this show's got a real kind of slick style about it that is honestly really exciting, and there's a lot about Arsène Diop and about Omar Sy in this show that heavily reminds me of, well, James Bond. I kind of like to think he is somewhat the French version of Bond, and also the French version of... He's basically Mickey and James Bond rolled into one, okay? Now, the show itself doesn't really have that many similarities at all with James Bond. It really is all in Omar Sy's performance. This guy just carries himself so naturally on screen, and so naturally as the character Arsène Diop, that I could watch him for absolute days. And he does kind of fit that sort of male archetype of men want to be him, women want to be with him, which I know is a very kind of statement to make, but it's kind of true in how it kind of applies here. Like, I really want to be Arsène Diop, to be that kind of cool and slick, and he makes everything just look so easy, slipping into disguises, the way that he charms people, his smile. Yo, if you don't fall for Omar Sy's smile, yeah, y'all ain't human. And then in the way I kind of say that it reminds me of The Hustle, an old BBC show. If you have never watched it, please find it and give that show a go. But certainly the way that the episodes are structured is very similar to The Hustle, and people who have watched The Hustle, and I'm looking mainly at my UK viewers here, y'all will know that the episode kind of plays out, and then there's always this sort of twist at the end of the episode, and there's a lot of that happening in Lupin as well, which is really exciting to see. But it's not just there where Lupin is excellent. Now, as some of you know, returning viewers mainly on this channel will know that I love shows and films that dive into a little bit of socio-political stuff, and Lupin is not afraid to do that, of course led by a black man. The character is of African descent, and obviously France was one of the big colonizers of African countries. The show definitely takes a heavy look at what the societal standings between black people and white people, between upper and working class, between rich and poor, and it really does kind of delve into that a lot, and kind of shows how some people in the upper classes do have a sense of entitlement, a sense of they are better than everyone else around them because money gives them power, because them being white gives them power as well, the kind of little white supremacy. And this is another thing the show touches into. It touches onto racism, touches onto white supremacy, touches onto capitalism, police corruption. There's a lot in there, all the while it being charming and slick and stylized and cool, and everything we look up to James Bond for, you can kind of look up to Arsène Diop there. But on the other hand, Arsène Diop is a family man as opposed to Bond, who kind of is just a complete womanizer. Yeah, we've had times Bond has fallen in love. I'm looking at you, George Lazenby's. All this to say, if you're needing that gap filler before No Time to Die does come out, do check out Lupin on Netflix. I assure you, you will not be disappointed. Hey, since I've brought up racism and white supremacy, why not check this video out here about racism and white supremacy in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier? And while you're here, why not check this video out here about some of the books on race I've read that help inform this channel? Oh, and subscribe. Until next time, Hakuna MaChatter.